NyanCave.
Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to Ace Attorney.
It's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday we cliffed on a hang.
Ooh.
Just before things were gonna get good.
I can't believe we're on part 15 already.
I can't believe we're on part 15. It's so weird playing two games that we start at the same time.
Yeah. It feels like we just got here.
Right?
Yeah. We haven't even done anything.
We haven't even done anything.
You're barely a lawyer.
John, thank you for the 13 months as a golden waffle.
Hey.
Hype.
Hype.
One day those are gonna play on Streamlabs.
One day.
Not this day.
That's in testing though. That's super duper cool. Yeah, also, subreddit exists.
Yes.
Description if you want to see some Ace Attorney memes or you want to post some.
I think people are. I know PK's been working on some stuff.
Ooh.
And I haven't watched any of it because I'm savoring it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the end of the month for when we watch it. I'm so very looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
The prosecution rests.
Did you have a nice rest?
Oh, also people in the comments were really like, it's feasible to jump 6 feet. And it is. It is. I'm just saying, in icy conditions, I don't think I'd want to.
Fell over in the snow. Walking less than a kilometer an hour, probably.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's feasible to jump 2 meters.
Maybe not under these conditions.
Absolutely not, like, in the winter. Because, like, I doubt the roads are salted. Like, the
only thing that's salty is the
be,
comments.
Like, real shitty.
They wouldn't be great. They wouldn't be great.
Also, yeah, as GD says, I think GD was joking. I didn't see the joke, but have you seen the dude? The dude hasn't, like, I don't know if he knows he can jump. I don't know if he knows that's an option, like, in this life.
But honestly, Sosek would probably be like, my cat-like reflexes. I'm a cat. I have nothing further to add.
I would bring Soseki up in front of everyone, and I would make him jump 6 feet in front of the court. One, so they could see it wasn't possible for him, especially in the snowy conditions. And
while holding books.
Two, so that when he inevitably collapses, people feel really bad for him.
Ow!
Oh, this guy couldn't stab a lady.
This man can barely stand!
What?
You seem surprised, my learned friend. Also, I missed someone. Someone said something, but their message isn't at the top. It was Josh! Josh 99. Time to see how this goes. Said by me. Who knows? Said by you, Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. This spurious longer route to the accused lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination. And the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination. Futile? I walked right into this, didn't I?
You see, everything that we've said is true. Isn't that right, my darling?
Yes, Pat. Marry me, Pat. So, perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already? You have heard all of the witnesses and seen all of the evidence.
That is absolutely a lie.
Yes.
I don't like how he says all of the evidence when you are clearly hiding 2 to 3 more pieces, I guarantee it.
This trial has run its course.
Hell, am I hiding a piece of evidence? No.
Also, that
we
guy.
haven't looked at this, actually.
That guy, thank you for 12 months. 1 whole year of the NyanCave, thanks for providing. What's between awful and mediocre content? I'd say like...
The NyanCave.
The NyanCave. Thank you. I like your profile picture. Oh, look at this! This book has been badly burnt.
I know there's a few things that came in. There'll be a slight delay. We'll just get rolling here. You're right. You'd never be able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages.
What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have been occurred very recently.
A book. Recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to raise a red flag with me?
That sounds familiar.
Ah, it was updated. Very nice. Very nice. I like how... Oh, okay, we do notice the Lion's Pride.
Let me see. It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride.
I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all. So it wouldn't be something I've heard. Wait a minute. The Lion's Pride? That's strange. I think I might have heard of a book by that name before. And very recently, too.
It's a title I recognize too, Mr. Naruhodo.
It was Garadeb's favorite book.
He likes lions. He likes lions. Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we're in a terribly precarious situation.
I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke, think! What do you do now? I love how if I do wait and see, Susato's probably just gonna do it for me.
Yeah, she'll be like, no!
But it is threatening me with the penalty.
It is. It's blinking. It's there, being like,
You know what?
are you gonna do it?
Let's wait and see.
Oh shit, he's gonna wait and see.
I should just keep quiet now and see what happens. Honestly, both of those seem like terrible ideas.
Well, it appears the defense has no objection in this juncture. In which case...
Mr. Naruhodo, was I not clear? The case for the defense is in great danger.
Yes, I realize that, which is why I decided to let the sweat drip from my trembling brow in silence.
I will silence you forever.
You're so right. Sorry. If I don't say anything now, it'll all be over. And it won't end well for us. I can't let that happens. And Yex, thank you for 19 months. I saw NyanCave in there in Katakana,
Yeah,
I believe.
NyanCave.
The rest is above my pay grade at a glance.
Something kidesu.
No, wait, the defense?
Objection!
Here comes.
The defense will have to wait. Because that sapless hesitation cannot go unpunished.
Is it your... Derisive? Derisive?
Derisive,
Derisive, right?
right?
Isn't your derisive finger-pointing punishment enough?
No, my learned friend. It's over. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed.
Oh, Gadaisuke desu. Nice, thanks, Yex.
The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate.
Well, it might be over.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, we're back.
Hello.
My computer just did, not even blue screen, it just died. It just was like, no, how about no?
Power cycle.
Have you ever considered no? And I was like, but why is this happening? Okay, we're good.
Okay.
We're good, we're back.
Cool. If I can just get a feed when you're second.
Oh, yes, sorry.
I can't think of what to say.
If I may, Lord Van Zeeks. It seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point.
Yeah, that's it. First attack his character, then attack the case.
Yeah. You know what? I am gonna leave. That's correct, Reese.
Your insignificant little eastern isle must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this.
Oh.
Don't let him get to you.
Oh, right, bot. I gotta get the bot back.
I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you'll have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable.
Mr. Naruhodo!
One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance. So the court will hear you, madame.
Go ahead, Miss Susato, please.
Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further?
Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished.
I see. And you believe this new evidence warrants further examination, do you?
Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible.
Yes, I understand, and thank you, Miss Sasato. This is it. Sasato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord. Are we sure? We could just maybe wait and see for
Yeah, let's maybe just wait.
15 more seconds.
Yeah, wait and see.
Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into this case and has hitherto been overlooked.
Well,
It's a book.
that's all I got.
Take that! Read this book!
The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. That's what I picked.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what you
That's the one I
picked.
picked.
That's the one.
That's the one. The fourth book found in the victim's hand.
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know.
Yes, I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter. When I afforded you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, yes, my lord. It's, oh, hey, look over there, distraction.
Funny story, I went to the store the other day to buy a pizza, but when I got there one of the employees said someone literally bought the whole aisle.
Damn it.
Pizza?
I bet you it's one of those YouTube pranks.
Oh, freaking YouTubers are the worst.
Freaking YouTubers. Buying the whole aisle pizza, Walmart, midnight cops called, gave pizza, had a good time, I guess.
3 a.m.
3
Haunted
a.m.
pizza. Among Us. Sus. Imposter.
Sorry to hear that, that's crazy. It's,
Mr. Naruhodo, I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence, which means you may very well be right on the back on the right track.
yes, I think you might be right.
So, counsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case which the fourth book conceals?
It's, the fourth book is
Ooh.
The Goblet of Fire.
Got it.
I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question.
The back, and what are you? Oh, good gracious! It's been burnt to a crisp.
So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing. You're connected by a scarf.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend?
Oh, I don't know if it's against the law, but at the very least, I do believe it's, like, pretty immoral to burn books in general.
I think it depends on the context of the book, the burning of the book.
I guess so. Yeah.
Because if you
I always feel bad, like, I don't know.
I would feel like an actual book I would not want to burn.
Even if it was just like a novel.
My homework, though, from the end of school, at 12th grade, did we go to the beach and have a beach fire and burn all our notes? Yes.
Dare you?
It was awesome.
That's against the law.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is open fires? You didn't get a permit.
This
You have
was
a permit for that?
This was back in the day when things were not on fire always.
Just because you didn't get caught doesn't mean it wasn't against the law. I'll see you.
Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day, pray do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide?
A charred book. There's just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, certainly, but worth a try. All right, I'll explain my theory.
Don't keep us waiting any longer then, Counsel. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage this Zoid home has suffered?
Its owner.
Name time. Patricia and Rolly's names are a pun on patrol, while Beatu is a play on beat, a term for an area a police officer patrols.
That makes
Ha.
sense. Pat and Rolly Patrolly.
Yeah.
In Japanese their names are Patrick and Roller O'Malley, which has the same puns for their first names, but no puns for their second names as far as I can tell. Two halves.
Interesting.
O'Malley. What a good last name.
TBD. Thank you.
Thank you, TBD. And right, Catherine? Yeah, my friend, like we burned all our homework. She burned her plastic binder, and then we tried to make marshmallows, but the marshmallows didn't taste good, so we decided not to eat it. And then she dug up some clams, and she put the clams on the stick.
Oh no!
And then she ate the clams.
My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth. Fire roasted clams. About the book's owner.
I beg your pardon.
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor after all. It's obviously hers.
The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand is yet to be answered. However, as to the question of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has a very credible answer.
I love it.
Good gracious! How could you possibly?
Very well. I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry.
Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this burnt book?
That's no moon.
Take that!
The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb.
The landlords.
And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garadeb herself, and definitely not the maid. They can't afford it.
Oh my goodness, me? I think you must be mistaken, sir.
I'm actually shocked that she's not like crawling over the bench, like just hand up in the air. Like,
Gonna smack the shit out of you!
or just a teapot, like out of nowhere.
I'm not Mrs. Garadeb, Mr. Garadeb's wife. I'm his maid.
Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. All right then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadeb's house?
I would never presume to know all of the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say. You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
Oh, we know. This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know. We have receipts.
Yeah, we know.
That on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house.
Good Lord! What sort of incident, Counsel?
A fire, my lord.
Pain to say as it was, it happened in the blink of an eye, you know? The whole place filled with smoke, couldn't see a bally thing. It didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. Worst of it, I lost my favorite book.
I lost my favorite book.
Finally caught
John,
up and
sorry for
passed
the delay.
you after 11 parts of getting the game for myself. Hype for the trial.
John!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride.
There's so much text, like stuff's gonna happen. I don't know.
The lion's pride.
Wow, have we seen this before?
No, this is a good pose. He has feelings.
Now pause for the thumbnail.
By Jove! The very same title that's the subject of debate.
Oh, dear me!
Objection!
This is risible. Risible. All you've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire.
Is the sentence book called The Lion's Pride a proper sentence? It wouldn't be to me, but I mean, if Grammarly's out there are saying so.
In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself from the scene of the crime.
Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord.
Discord is launching marital discord where you and your merits can keep up with each other.
Honestly, in an alternate timeline, I would see Discord hosting marriages
Right?
remotely.
Remote marriages.
Marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garadeb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garadeb even amid the flames. That is some anger.
Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly?
Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir. Yeah. It's usually 2 or 3 fingers.
Whoa.
Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. There was I, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen.
Do you think that she threw it out the window? Do you think she threw it out the window and it hit the lady in the head? Donk. And she's like, what is this, a book?
But it was
Picks
in her,
it up.
in her hand.
Yeah, no, like,
Oh.
and then she's like, what is this, a book? Why is it on fire? And then someone's like, stabbed. She's like, my day just can't get any worse.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see how this all played out. 'Cause
Right?
It's weird.
Yeah.
And Cyber saying, thanks for 9 months. Welcome, and yeah, enjoy your stay.
Bonk.
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 The man had his back up against the window and he had burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting that the book was thrown through the window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime? Objection!
No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident. And there is no report of the Garadeb's window pane being broken.
That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garadeb household. But it's not conceivable. But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the time and...
Not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it.
However, what about a fire?
Ooh.
Van Zeeks, are you dumb? You can't breathe smoke. Ugh.
So the natural progression for the next game is a prosecutor that smokes a bunch of fat blunts and has an assistant roller. Am I right?
Miles of Edgeworth! Snooping dogs. Blazed detective. Blazed attorney. Blazed attorney, there it is. Snoop Dogg, blazed attorney.
Gigi says, I don't even open my window when there's a fire in England. It's cold. Yeah, but you'd just be wasting all that free heat. I mean, it's burning anyway. Might as well keep it inside, right?
Right? But Snoop Dogg is the defense attorney and Martha Stewart is his companion. And they go and they solve adventures. You have to admit, you would watch it. I would watch it. He wouldn't be able to get it, and then she'd be like, here, have a homemade marshmallow and this weed cigarette that I've rolled for you. It's in the shape of
lemon.
Yeah. It'd be so good.
No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter.
Does the defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene of the crime was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garadeb's wife?
I believe it's a possibility, my lord.
That's quite enough.
That's gotta be the maid. Oh, yeah.
Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster.
Uh-oh. We have not made a friend today.
You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward! A mean coward!
Really?
Claiming that our little tiff set the whole neighborhood alight. Honestly! Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case, not any of it, and all you've done is sully our family's name.
No, I assure you that was never my intention.
Dragging up an upstanding citizen's name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense. Oh. I should box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable.
I like the dodge on that. That was
I know.
That was nice.
Too right.
Oh boy. Here we go.
How long have we sat here now, listening to this Nipponi spouting out his fancy foreign theories? But think about it.
Remember what the judge said about tolerance? I remember that. That was nice.
At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with the mustache, and he ran away from the scene too.
Fuck. That whole, like, sentence, I just had such a vivid image of, like, 8-bit Mario just bouncing it up window, going boing, 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 and just stabbing her, and then boing, 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 boing away. And Mario could jump the 2 meters. I think we're onto something here.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
It's me, Mario.
Boing, 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 boing.
Yeah, wahoo! Yippee! I do declare you're right.
It's true. Yes, what did I tell you?
Makes sense to me.
Eh? Sorry, what's that?
Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Von Zeeks?
In truth, my lord, I feel these have been very unnecessary protracted proceedings.
Yeah, you would think that when you're winning, wouldn't you?
But then one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage.
No! Wait! The mystery of the 4th book still hasn't been... Ah!
If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time.
What? No forgive the discourtesy this time?
Sorry, Chad. I just see leg. He's an alcoholic. Leg.
In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty.
Uh-oh.
Guilty.
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 What?
Guilty.
You don't know what's going on, old man?
No, I'm just here for the refreshment.
Can we do a second summation examination?
Thank you for that unambiguous response.
That's twice now. It's over.
Mr. Naruhodo, don't give up.
Miss Sasato?
Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet.
You can do it again?
You can summation examination as many times as you want until
Apparently.
you get the result that you're looking for. I've read it in my book. Brute force
I love
it.
this, like, never used, like, frowned upon rule, and we're just, like, riding it. You're not suggesting.
Of course. The defense has the right to another summation examination at this point.
Oh, man. If you do, like, another intro, you've got to do, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Top decking a summation examination every goddamn time. No! The battle's over. Not if I draw this card. I play summation examination face down in attack mode. I know you can't do that. That's the joke. Get mad.
That's the joke, chat. We know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
I don't.
You could still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance. And as there's more information that comes out, you'll get another one and another one.
My lord, the defense asks to exercise its right to a summation examination. Slightly bashfully. Because it's ridiculous.
You believe you still have the tricks up your sleeve?
I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined.
Oh, we were so close to another to be continued.
We're so close. Damn. I wonder if we get our penalty back.
Because we saved?
The
At a
Adventure
TBC?
of the Clouded Kokoro.
Trial, part 2.
Yeah, I don't think we do, but maybe we do. Oh, he has to allow it.
I have considered the defense counsel's request for a further summation examination of the jury, and I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure.
Oh, cock.
So, counsel, will you now proceed with your second summation examination? I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman. We are, my lord. Very good. In that case, I must ask each of you now to clearly state and concisely for the court the grounds on which you find the defendant guilty of this crime.
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 Nail.
We should harmonize one day.
Is that what the kids are calling it these
Set
days?
Pip.
The accused left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books are his.
If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider.
Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to the crime if the window is closed, can it?
I find it so shocking that people can't believe a window would be open when a fire is happening.
Like, there's some rules where, like, don't open a window sometimes because it'll let all the fresh air in, and then that will feed the flames, causing the flames to ignite even worse.
Yeah.
But not
like
this is
late
not
stage
this
fire.
situation.
I don't
No,
think
we're
so.
not. This is early stage fire where it's like smoky and we're dousing
Oh, man.
flames.
And like that house was hooked up to the gas line and stuff.
Yep.
And I don't know what the safety procedures were like in the 1900s, but whew, man, I don't know.
Dearie me, it was only a little book, hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit.
Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tiny bit of trouble.
Come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes.
What?
Gave me the sneezes. I was sneezing all the time. All of it.
Yes. Considerably more tangible arguments from all members of the jury this time around, it seems. With one notable exception, of course.
My learned friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony. So the court must accept the fact that it is indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover, smash! No one else was even at the scene to commit the crime.
Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it can be argued any other way.
That means, I'm afraid, that during the summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the facts.
But how? What even would constitute a tangible explanation here?
Isn't it obvious? Who stabbed the woman and how? Those two details are all you need to provide. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted.
How about I hit you with
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
how about that?
Well, I never thought about it that way.
And there I was thinking this might be hard.
But, Mr. Naruhodo, you have to do it, otherwise this will be really where it ends.
No pressure then.
I increased the volume for that one. It was a little
Nice,
quiet.
A little quiet.
Yeah.
That's quite enough preamble. Proceed with the summation examination, please. I presume you're prepared, counsel.
Oh, yes, my lord. All right, Ryunosuke, focus your mind now. Focus. Clearly, the key to this summation examination is going to be juror number 4, the maid, or should I say, Mrs. Garadeb. Bum, bum, bum.
You're like, okay, we need that soundtrack too.
Oh no, I lost my pen. I used it from
Here.
Bum, bum, bum.
Wow, how come you get 3 bums?
Bum, bum, bum.
We have a book that disappeared. Disappeared?
Disappeared.
We have a book that disappeared from the Garadeb's house on the evening of the incident. And the 4th book found in the victim's hand.
There must be a way to link the two. Yes, that's what we have to find. Using every technique I've learned in my short career so far. Whatever it takes.
Don't forget to keep an eye on Mrs. Garadeb and see how she reacts, even to the things that other people say. All the things he said, all the things he said, running through my head, running through my head. All the things he said.
The face of Van Zeeks. Another one? Oh come on. The happy hour is almost over. Wine glass, tropical drink, clinking beer mugs, beer, tumbler glass.
It's quite the spread.
Mono, squeevin, anime, don't
Thank
drink those things all in one day. You'll feel ill.
I would love to see his wine reserves.
Hughes left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his.
Hold it! But as we know now, there were 4 books, not 3.
Well, what difference does it make?
There's every possibility that the 4th book is, in fact, belongs to the defendant's landlord.
Yes, That's the part I have a problem with.
I'm
Sorry?
super sane.
Well, at the point the woman was stabbed, this landlord fella was at home, wasn't he? Was at home, wasn't he? Enjoying a fiery scrap with his wife or something, you said.
Well, that's not exactly how I put it, no.
Well, anyway, the point is, this fella and his wife were somewhere else when it happened.
I think that's what you call a strong alibi.
So it couldn't have been the landlord who did it, which only leaves the Nipponese fella. Honestly, I can't see what all this palaver's about. It's a done deal, isn't it?
I suppose it is, since I've nothing witty left to say.
Oof.
If there was some novel alternative, if there was some novel alternative explanation for how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider.
A novel explanation.
Mm-hmm.
So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean?
Oh my, such delight on your face, but I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you may think of me, I'm a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman.
Uh-huh. That's great.
Good for you.
Perfect.
If one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So why read them all in the first place?
Damn, that's some profound shit right there.
You see, modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking, wouldn't you say?
And not at all extreme.
As I see it, an overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by overwhelmingly strong testimony. So despite one or two minor puzzlements, I do declare that the man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, and rational logic, wouldn't you say?
Overwhelmingly.
But us modern gals are always delighted to embrace new fads, you know. So I'd be only too happy to consider an exciting new theory if you could just come up with one.
I'd be happy to do that too. If only I could.
Let's do our very best not to disappoint the modern and metropolitan young lady.
And rational.
Well,
Not so sure about that last part.
I'm glad you admitted the rational there. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty noise, isn't it?
And Greg, thanks for being a golden waffle.
Great, and you have a message too. Membership renew again. Love you all. They're so close. Because if they could only make those two things be one thing, that would be so awesome. Gregory. Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to the crime of if the window was closed, can it?
But what about the possibility that the window was open? What I'm saying.
What about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have been.
How can you be so sure?
The prosecutor fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? Winters in London are no joke. If you don't want to invite some sort of cold indoors, or you don't want to. So no, that window wasn't open. Us Londoners like sitting by the fire and staying warm, you see.
What? That's ridiculous. I have it on good authority that Londoners like to do 6-foot long jump in the winter.
I've heard that as well.
I have heard that.
I've heard it is a reasonable thing to do.
No sitting by any fires.
No.
Only 2-meter long jump. But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you?
It just wasn't. They wouldn't have opened it. Have you considered? No. I've been here. I lived in London all my life. Never opened the window in the winter once. Go fuck yourself.
Then what's the point in even having windows, huh?
Oh, counsel, you will kindly refrain from childish bickering.
Sorry. Somehow, I need to show that there's an undeniable possibility that the window was open.
Because,
Because this young man isn't gonna budge otherwise.
yeah, juror number 3 is by far, like, the most rational person.
Yeah.
Dearie
He's still a bit
me.
cheeky, though.
Oh, a little cheeky. But I mean, like, in this scenario, I would be like, yeah, what do you mean? Of course the window wouldn't be open. But I would also be like, the
No.
fire.
Dearie me, it was only a little book, hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit.
Hold it! But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not?
With flames of love, I'll have you know.
Wow. There's really no such thing as a loving incendiary bomb.
Whoa. Well, he brought it upon himself. It's playing with fire to betray a fiery love. Isn't it? Well, don't you agree?
Oh, well, I mean, any kind of betrayal is, well, certainly a bad thing, yes? But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Mrs. Garadeb.
Never you mind that. The point is we were just having a jovial little dispute, nothing more. And I won't have any more of the suggestions that it was anything whatsoever to do with this crime.
Right, well, we'll see about that. What about juror number 5? Ooh. He doesn't seem to be turning a hair at Mrs. Garadeb's relentless onslaughts.
Because he's a beefcake of a man.
It's almost as though he's used to it. What a gentle soul he is.
Oh.
Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tidy bit of trouble.
Hold it! So you just want to get this over with? How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future's at stake here. Can't you at least say, thank you for the tenderness we've shared or something along those lines?
Well, him and me both then, like I said before.
What?
I told you already. I'm a day laborer, aren't I? If I don't bring home some readies with me tonight, you'll find me floating face down the Thames tomorrow morning.
What?
You heard me. My missus ain't one to mess about, you know? She can be fierce, believe you me.
Another shining example of marital bliss, then.
Ryunosuke, I am never getting married.
Yeah.
A situation like this cropped up the other day, and it was, well, do you know, it's funny. I can't quite remember.
Sorry?
It was too frightening. That's the thing. I must have blocked it out.
Helpful.
I wonder if Mr. Beat will ever be dragged into the Thames by his scarf.
Don't even go there, Mrs. Sato. There must be some way to jog his memory about this. Probably putting the maid and him together, I suppose.
Come to think of it, we had a fire at home not long ago. It gave me the sneezes.
Hold it! Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case?
Sorry, what's that? You'll have to speak up, lad.
Could you tell us more about that fire?
Oh, it was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. Oh, it had 75 candles on top of it, it did. What a sight it was to behold, it was.
Hell yeah. Go number 6. You put candles on a cake? Was it some kind of devil worship? This is funny for so many reasons because we literally made a devil worship like themed Hello Kitty cake. Yeah. And the funny thing is too, it would have to be an enormous cake to have 75 candles.
I know.
I will tell you about something that I learned firsthand that I recommend you never try because I just never imagined it would happen this way, but it certainly did. I think it was like 30 candles or something, and I put them all like together.
Close together.
And I thought it would just be like, you know,
a bunch of little flames.
A bunch of little flames. No, what happens is they all amalgamate into one massive flame. And I shit you not, the flame was like 7 feet tall. Like, we're lucky our ceiling was so high, it would have burnt the ceiling. It was just like, whoof, straight up.
It was very like, yes.
Yeah.
It was scary.
Oh, of course not. It was an angel cake to celebrate my birthday, obviously.
It seems that it's a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruhodo.
Anyway, I must have known my puff to blow him out.
Only I must have blown wrong somehow. The flames didn't go out, but the candles went flying all over the room. All the furniture caught and everything went up. The whole place was filled with smoke.
Yeah, I have a picture of it somewhere. I'll see if I can find it. I'll post it in Discord later. Or maybe on the subreddit. I could post the subreddit.
Definitely sounds like devil worship to me. And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold.
But how did you catch a cold from fire?
What a fiasco it was. The grandchildren, bless them. They threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. And then, because the whole room had filled up with smoke, of course, we had to open all the windows to clear it.
The windows.
The biting winter air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave, it did.
Damn, juror number 6 is a poet.
I caught a terrible cold from it. Put me in the hospital for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry.
I knew it was a devil worship all along. But something about this old man's story is playing on my mind for some reason.
We need to demonstrate who, apart from Mr. Natsume, could have attacked the young woman on the street. As well as how he or she could have done it.
Yes, but once again, the juror statements are full of personal prejudice. A lot of them seem convinced they're right, even in the face of logical arguments to the contrary.
I think you're going to need to pit them against each other and force them to accept the alternative explanation.
Yes. I don't necessarily need to find contradictions between their assertions. Just a connection might do the trick.
I think 3 and 6 we have to pit against each other. Because
Yeah.
he's like, you wanted to open a window, you just wouldn't.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see what I can do. If anything stands out, I'll go in for a strike.
That's the spirit!
Yeah, Scott says, my brother-in-law put about 40 candles on a cake one year. Cake looked like a fireball. Absolutely. 100%. Physics, I guess.
Who knew fire was additive?
Right? Yeah, winter house fires are dire. You have to open windows to clear the smoke. That's when the chill gets you see?
You see? You say?
You see?
These two juror statements clearly contradict one another.
They do. How exactly, counsel?
Don't point to me again. I told you it wasn't me. Eh? What's that you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up.
Juror number 3. Do you see?
Oh, me? See what, sir?
Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter.
Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency.
What kind of emergency?
I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from the fire, then you'd be mad not to open the... Oh!
Exactly. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Garadeb's household. And Mr. Garadeb had the following thing to say about it.
The whole place filled with smoke.
Oh, my hat!
Oh, hello.
Oh, my hat!
Ah, there she is.
Give me
There she is.
Oh, just drink it all. You have to go pee, then you can run away. Just run away after you pee.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Juror number 4. Do you have something to say about that?
Oh, the tea hasn't spilled yet.
Mrs. Garadeb!
Oh, dearie me! What's the meaning of this? How dare you imply that I was hiding who I really am?
It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now.
What is it?
When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window?
What? I beg your pardon? What are you insinuating?
The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window.
And what if we did? Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right.
Cyber, she's trying to drink all the tea before Ryu spills it.
My husband was frantically trying to open the window. Which can't have been easy since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering.
Even though your house was on fire.
Oh, you never stop throwing until the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise.
Of course. I should have realized.
That's a significant step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. You've managed to establish that the window was open. We simply must have to add Mrs. Garydeb's formal statement. Now that you mention it, yes, the window was open at the time. I'd clean forgotten, but it's true.
The fourth book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garydeb told us he had been reading.
Well, I really couldn't say.
On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband the copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading?
I did. It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. Now that you come to mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, you're right. That's not what we're talking about.
Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset?
Because I couldn't, you insolent little man! I didn't remember! At times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on as well, you know.
I really don't.
I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less the title of it.
Oh god, we've awoken something. We've awoken something.
Something's awoken within me.
What is it, juror number 5?
You know something? I've remembered what it was. That memory I'd blocked out.
Oh.
It was listening to what this granny was saying.
Oh shit.
Brought it all flooding back.
Who are you calling a granny, you cheeky devil? I'm Mrs. Garydeb, or the maid, I'll have you know.
The man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time.
It was about 2 weeks ago now.
Music.
Right?
I just got back home from work, like. Put my hands in my pocket for the wages I just earned that day, and I nearly died. There was a hole. Every last penny had dropped out.
Oh dear. What a disaster.
You haven't heard the half of it, boy.
Oh?
The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time.
Oh no.
I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight. I've lost the day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade went whistling past my ear. Stuck into the wall next to me, it did. About an inch deep.
No words. Just terror.
I could smell it then, you know. That god-awful stench of the Thames. I was sure I was going to end up face down in the muddy banks that night, I can tell you.
Now, that's a real disaster, isn't it?
I'll never use the word lightly again.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. When women lose their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, hammers, you name it.
Children.
Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined.
No, I wasn't thinking that.
Throwing household objects at people is, well, it's so uncivilized.
Yeah, you have to throw the people.
Just throw the people, obviously. At least attack with honor, like using a bow or the like.
Oh. Wait, what? Attack? Who are you going to attack?
Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think.
All right. We'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare.
Ooh, I'm getting a phone call. Let's see who this is.
So between Patricia, Mrs. Gerardeb and Juror 5's wife. What I'm getting is that the game is telling us that British women are dangerous.
Absolutely. People be dangerous. Women in a rage will hurl almost anything at you. Kitchen knife really brought that home to me. Throwing the knife. Very interesting.
Hold it!
Your wife really threw a kitchen knife at you?
That's right. She was chopping meat with it. Had a tidy edge on it, believe me. Still, it's all memories, isn't it? Started with that smile she threw at me when we were courting. And since then, the list of things she's thrown at me has grown along with our relationship. There was a cup, then a glass, then a pot, a kettle, chair, wardrobe, cooker, bathtub, belt.
Your wife must be even beefier than you.
And things came to a head last week when she threw me right into the Thames. Still, she's not so bad when she's calmed down. She's a little sweetheart, really.
I'm so happy for you.
If you want to know what I think this whole idea of ladies first that we're so obsessed with in this country was thought up by some clever lads who've been tossed in the Thames a few too many times by the wives.
That's a very interesting theory, actually. What a terrible thought. On the face of it, this juror's statement just sounds like a really extreme anecdote. But I think it might turn out to be an extremely powerful weapon. A weapon I might be able to use to make the jurors accept an alternative explanation here. When the house fires to die, you have to pry open windows and good smoke. That's when the chill gets out, you see.
Hold it!
Did you change your statement from before?
Oh, well, yes. It was one of my most memorable birthdays, you see. I couldn't go unremembered.
I'm sure the defendant will be delighted that you're using his trial to explore your past.
We're doing a lot.
And now that this memory, and how is this memory related to this case exactly?
Eh? Sorry? What was that? You have to speak up, I'm afraid.
Never mind. He's as deaf as a post when he wants to be. But actually, this old man's anecdote might just provide the alternative explanation I need to make my point to some of the other jurors.
We used unlit candles at my birthday this year. It's safer that way. Yeah.
Oh, so the window was open. Yes, Mrs. Gerardeb finally admitted to it, which is a very significant victory for the defense. I feel like the fog's starting to clear, and an alternative explanation of this case is starting to show itself.
Case Attorney Devs, we need a name for case 4. What about turnabout marital abuse? Let's jazz it up. How about the shrouded Kokoro? Yes.
Yes.
Don't hit people. Don't hit people with things. Oh, let's see. That's possible. I think it's probably gonna be these two. Gotta appreciate your determination to keep the show running. Thanks, DG. I'm trying. And I appreciate the message because it bought me like 20 seconds, maybe, tops. So how are you guys? Don't forget 3 and 6 again? Well, I definitely did 6 again. But yeah, I guess we could talk to 3 again. Why not? Repie? Ooh, don't tempt me with a good time.
Hold it!
At the point when the victim was attacked on Briar Road, We know there was a small house fire in the Gardav household that on the opposite side of the street. Well, yes, it certainly seems that way. And on account of the smoke, I imagine they would have had the windows open wide in spite of the cold. We also know that Mrs. Gardav was throwing flaming books at her husband. Her husband, who was backed into a corner by the window due to his wife's frenzied attack. Yes, that's right. So there's definitely a chance that one of the books could have flown past the man and out the window. Only what? Danny, thank you for popping in. Yeah, you know where to find us. I look forward to seeing you whenever you can. Only, I can't really see how it could have gone all the way over to the other side of the road, that's all. So I don't really see how I can change my decision, really. Oh, I see. That wasn't enough? What is it gonna take to persuade these people? So you can clear a 6-foot gap in winter, but you can't throw a book from a 3rd floor window across the street. Especially this lady.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did.
Gotta get the fade on that one. Yeah. I have one other sound that's new that I'm banking, and that's gonna be nice. Yeah, Rip Yanny. Probably was some sort of doctor's call. It's important. Confidence save? Yeah, I can do a confidence save. Woo-doo. Sorry, Allison. I do feel like that when you're gonna go flying, that's when, like, things going wrong, you really feel it, because everything's on a timer. Yeah, the game soundtrack is really good. It's been a fairly long time since we've, like, played Ace Attorney, but, yeah. It feels, ironic because it takes place so much longer in the past, but it feels fresh, if you will. With that same Ace Attorney, je ne sais quoi, if you will. Let me just double check and see if I should continue. Sorry. Later, Catherine. This is going to be a minute.
Objection!
Oh, wow. That I actually like that they changed that. Those two statements clearly have a deeply significant connection.
Good grief, you mean they don't even contradict each other? Explain yourself, counsel, at once.
Juror number 2, do you think perhaps that this could be one such novel alternative? Oh my, whatever do you mean? An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back?
What are you talking about?
We've demonstrated that the fourth book, The Lion's Pride, that was found outside the scene of the crime, originated in Mr. Garadeb's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from the Garadeb household to the street below. Just throws a knife out the window and stabs a lady. I imagine, like, that she didn't even pass out from being stabbed. She got stabbed and was like, oh, my back! And then, like, turns to go look at where the knife came from, and just a flaming book, bonk, and falls over.
What's that now?
After all, Mrs. Garadeb could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4? Also, I'm trying to have the mic a little further away. Let me know if it sounds like hollow or weird at all. What are you insinuating now, you little beanpole? Sorry, I'm improvising. He's on the fly here. I'm beginning to think that ever since the true origins of this book came to light, it'll change a bit. Perhaps she's had a feeling this might be what happened.
Now you listen here, you Eastern Gala.
I'm always using words I have no idea what they mean.
As the foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. You give this yarn about some other object making its way to the house, but what? What is it?
Thanks, guys.
I'm really taking a big gamble here.
That was a bold accusation to make, but I haven't any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain, at the very least, this warrants further investigation. All right, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way from the Garadeb household to the scene of the crime was... Oh my god. Like, I love this.
Take that!
Just the mental image of the whole situation is quite funny. Juror number 4, Mrs. Garadeb. What now? I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before?
Good Lord, counsel, what on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was lodged into the victim's back, man!
Oh, the judge has just totally lost it. My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garadeb was hurling anything she could at her husband, who could have been backed up against the window. Who'd have been backed up against the window. A window that had been opened to clear the smoke, and through which a book sailed to land at the crime scene. I'm just gonna let that go. Sailed to land at the crime scene. 500.
You can't seriously believe that. That book was found in the victim's grasp.
Are you saying it flew out the window across the street to land neatly in her hand?
Even my missus ain't got an arm like that.
Yes, I admit. There are many details we don't yet understand. Land is a verb? Yeah, it just jumbled in my head weird, I guess. But that's the point. That's precisely why. We must not allow this trial to end. Not right now. Oh my. Ah! Mrs. Garadeb, your answer, please. Have you seen this knife before or not? Uh-oh. Hey, it's the first time this has happened in this game. Listen, I know what this looks like. Okay. I know that the maid is on the floor.
Yeah.
But
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
Just so you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's your sex life?
Pretty meow.
Hello. This is for celebration. Wedding was on Saturday, went amazing, I'm finally out of a toxic environment, and it's been amazing with my other. Thank you all for your love, support, and being genuine. It's been such a help.
Danny Blue!
Congratulations. And I'm so glad that everything went really well.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, weddings are like a lot.
A lot.
Super beautiful, but man, like, yeah, that's incredible though. And no, thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's nice. I'm really happy for you.
And
That's
sorry
awesome.
I had to leave so quickly.
Up and at them.
Up and at them! Danny Blue!
And Chad, thank you for being so nice. And offering all your congratulations. There you are. But yeah, and you always know where to find us, so thank you.
Yeah.
Freaking yeah.
Yeah!
My lord.
I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word, after all.
Thank you, madam.
Yes, I agree.
Kingdom Hearts wedding. That's so cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it'd be right for this trial to come to an end now with so many unanswered questions.
Mr. Foreman.
I have to agree. Not that I think the granny did it, mind.
Yes. You know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either.
All together now, ladies and gents.
You know, I really thought that Bruce Fairplay was a bad guy.
Right?
But maybe he's not that bad.
We did it.
Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo.
Thanks, this is all foresty and lovely. I'll see if I can send pics, we get them back. That's awesome. Yeah, we have the IRL cave in Discord or the subreddit, which we look at everything there too. So yeah, if you give us a ping there, take a look. If you don't mind, like whatever you're comfortable sharing.
Whatever you're comfortable sharing.
So, as a result of the defense's summation examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. The 2 jurors called guilty, against 4 now calling innocent. Accordingly, the opinion of this court is divided.
Jury number 6 just didn't hear anything. That's why he didn't vote innocent.
Yeah.
And this trial will continue.
Yes, juror 4 fainted. Thanks, Chad.
Now then, Lord Von Zieks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed?
This trial is rapidly descending into a farce.
Did you say a fart?
I said a farce.
Oh, nice.
Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is so repugnant that it's good for nothing save the gutter.
Really?
If I may, Lord Von Zieks, the defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened.
Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman?
I really do wish you'd stop attacking us personally and focus more on the facts at hand. It would save everyone a lot of time and, mental well-being.
The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond. But let me start by insisting
Well, that's on you.
that you must all familiarize yourselves better with the relative positions of those places being discussed.
What do you mean by that? Oh God, what's his angle this time?
It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Garadeb household runs a rather wide street, Briar Road. which means that the distance from the Garadeb's house to the scene is some, yes, 15 yards.
Easy.
Easy to jump over in the wintertime. Let me see, 15 yards. That's around 14 meters.
14 meters? Oh, that's a little farther than I'd imagined.
And as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having portentous significance, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book wantonly held by the lady of the house traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? And did the jackknife follow a near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back?
Well, when you put it like that...
This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think.
So you had a bad day.
Got hit by a book, and then by a knife.
Look out for the knife.
Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots.
There's nothing I can say to that.
That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice.
I do.
Mr. Sato.
Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he!
Uh-oh. He's done it now.
Maybe let's pick our battles here.
My lord, might I be allowed to speak?
Uh-oh.
As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense, yes. Go ahead.
The prosecution may consider the idea a fantasy. But what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end, juror number 4, Miss Joan Garadeb, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination.
Saints alive! A cross-examination of a juror. Order, order, order! Well, this is highly irregular. It is unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand. Objection!
And unnecessary.
Lord Van Zix.
There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it, then both the burning book and jackknife must have flown through the sky before this couple's eyes. Damn. And we must assume that they will be able to testify accordingly.
No, sorry, that was me. I'm glad you guys liked that, though. Sorry, I can't remember the chat member that said it last stream, but it was a good idea, so I took it. Thank you, chat member.
What say you, witnesses?
Oh, is it Snickerdoodle? Was it you? Nice.
Yes, sir. Constable Rolly Beat reporting for duty, sir.
Well. Good morning, officer.
Sorry for dozing off until now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir.
Oh, they're so heroic, those London bobbies.
Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more.
Oh, Roly, my hero, you make me swoon.
Very well, I hereby reject the defense's request
Oh,
and order the witnesses in the stand to testify again. state forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events.
Yes, sir.
There must be so much broken glass on the floor.
Cyber Saiyan!
Telling you, they're made of sugar.
He's got Sweepy over there. Sweepy sweeping. Oh, your Sweepy's gonna sweep.
Thanks, Cyber.
Nicob did the same Wilhelm scream joke. Smiley face.
But did he ever?
I did not hit her. It's not true.
Or did he?
Why are we still here?
I gotta turn up, did not hit her still.
I did not hit her.
Or what about?
Thank you!
Just kidding. Hey. I'm sure he's very nice.
I'm just gonna guess mistrial rules haven't been invented yet, and if we calling jurors to the stand.
Angry!
I don't know what those are, but I don't know what the hell we'd have to do, but we're gonna get her on the stand, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We gotta.
Yeah.
This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word. You see, sir, the window on the top floor of the Garadeb house are high-hinged casements.
Obviously, if anything had been thrown out the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Rody was there to make sure nothing was disturbed.
I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for a moment. Sir, nothing strange to report on that front, sir.
Well, this is quite startling. Top-hinged casement windows.
That detail was not in the police report, Constable.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy.
You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness every time, Constable.
I can if it's the truth, jackass. No, sir! What exactly is a top-hinged casement window?
And you cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend.
Of course. Sorry.
I found it, Mr. Naruhodo!
I don't know. It seems in bad taste to belittle someone who's asking a genuine question.
Right.
Especially someone who's literally just arrived.
Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's room.
All right, I'll try.
The window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house.
Oh, wow.
But as it's a top-hinged casement window, it swings open along the upper edge, you see.
I'm glad you've rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount.
It prevents opening? This is all news to me. Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, if a book or knife would have been thrown out the window, it would have clattered against the pane and fallen straight down to the pavement below.
No.
You see the problem then? Good. Your education in Windows is complete. Now send an email to the company, proving you understand push email. There was never any possibility of either the book or the knife traveling 15 yards over the road. That is, unless the window pane had been shattered, something we've discounted already.
That can't be!
Did you see that, Rowley, that young Japanese man just collapsed in agony. Ooh!
Oh, yes, my darling. I saw it. I saw how he crumbled before me.
Oh, Rowley. Oh, you're so strong.
How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet, and already my argument's been destroyed.
Counsel, if you could drag yourself upright again, the court awaits your cross-examination.
My lord? Oh, good. Another desperate situation. This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word.
Hold it!
How can you say that for how can you say that for certain? A very good question, sir. And the answer is this. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all of us policemen who have sworn duty.
He showed us that before, didn't he?
Did he? I can't say I remember. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. That's what the job's all about. And that is why I can stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you a Bobby's good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes, admittedly. Sir!
Oh, Rowley, you're so manly. Oh.
Of course I am, my darling Patricia. Now touch your tongue to mine. Oh, Pat.
Oh,
No. No. None of this is what I meant.
No!
No!
Stop it!
I mean, how can you say for certain that this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb? I see, sir. You should have said so earlier, sir. Yes, well, so could you answer the question? That was a waste of time then. Absolutely, sir. I will answer to the fullest of my abilities, sir. There is a surprising reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's domestic dispute can't be related to this case. But before I get into that, sir, just one thing. Clay's chat's gone.
Oh, no.
Yes?
That's the worst.
I'd very much like you and all of your countrymen to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard. So I hope you take back some tales of us, London Bobbies, and how we uphold our guiding principles. I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just arrived here. So, to that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal.
Ooh.
I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears.
Oh.
Thank you. I'll try.
I wonder how it ends.
Ooh, a small folding wallet that identifies London Bobbies and contains the rules of conduct for which they must adhere. That seems like a dangerous thing to give someone, but okay. I'll just cash that in.
I know, right?
So wait, does everyone have to believe what I say now?
I'm the Bobby.
You said earlier.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm a London Bobby.
Oh yeah? Where's your warrant card? It's...
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Hello, Governor.
Hello.
Item 1. A policeman will strive to preserve the peace within his allotted beat. Item 2. A patrolling officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day for the furtherance of community relations. Metropolitan Police Regulations. Item 1. Any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. Item 2. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigation and to help detectives. but it's not his beat.
Yeah, right?
Okay. Hey, King Neo, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Whenever anyone disappears for a while, I always hope y'all are okay. Probably just lurking, I assume.
Hold it! By which you mean they don't fully open. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. They're just there to allow a bit of air through the house, you see? So they're restricted as to how much they open.
And therefore anything thrown out the window from that inside room would simply strike the pane and fall to the street directly below. For clarity, allow me to mark it on the map.
Ooh, wow, we're getting all kinds of evidence here.
Boop, boop.
Here is the location where objects would have fallen.
Yes, directly opposite the scene of the crime on the other side, of a rather wide road.
It would have been so hard for somebody to mention. Would it have been so hard for someone to mention this top hinged casement thing before? Well, I have another question for you, Constable.
And what would that be, sir?
How do you even know? How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Garadev's house is furnished with?
Well, sir, that's very simple. You see, I helped with the investigation already yesterday.
Oh my god.
She got things to say about it?
Excuse me. Do you have something to add, Mrs. Beat?
Sorry.
You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that?
Oh, I was just remembering, that's all. We really were so lucky.
Lucky? What do you mean?
Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. But we were just so lucky it didn't happen on Rowley's beat. It was so close, you see.
Uh-oh. Oh, I hadn't realized.
Oh, yes, that street, Briar Road. That's the boundary between Rowley's beat and the next one. Isn't that right, my love?
Constable Beat!
Yeah, that's right. That's the reason I was helping out with the interviewing the occupants of the Garadev household yesterday. Their house is on my beat, you see, so...
That really was cutting it close then.
Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. If the Garadev household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well?
Outside Mr. Garadev's house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement on that side of the road is part of my beat.
I see. I was unaware of that.
Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of Briar Road, we would never have been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. But that's the life of a bobby, after all.
Extraordinary people are bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners.
You ever seen Bridezilla? I see what people do. I see what people go through to make sure their special day's not ruined. Girl, you picked that lady up and you tossed her with the books over the other side of the road. You pick and yeeted her. You yeet. Like the Hulk yeeted that bear into the constellation. You ever see the Hulk yeet a bear into a constellation?
No.
I'll show it to you. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Do you know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rowley for all his hard work.
That's fucked up.
Don't you think so, my darling?
I don't know how to deliver this line. That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it.
That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it.
I think perhaps we should make sure that we have the information officially on record.
Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately.
The pavement where the victim was found lies just outside Constable Beat's beat, the border of which runs down the middle of Briar Road.
And now it's my turn, I think. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out the window, we would have seen it.
But according to my notes here, the sun had gone down already, and it was dark.
Oh, but Rolly and I were strolling along, gazing at the night sky and looking out for our lucky star.
In the fog?
Sorry?
What the fog?
The star that will guide us to eternal happiness.
Can't it guide you to the answer the question? Oh, and Scott says, do you mean Hercules eating the bear?
No, I specifically mean the Hulk eating a bear into space, and the bear became a constellation.
Beautiful. If a flaming book had cut across the sky in front of us, it would have lit up like a shooting star.
And if I'd seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it. Let Rolly be an inspector, I would have said. Oh, 3 times at least.
Of course. What with the smog and everything, we couldn't actually see any stars.
In short, are you trying to say that neither a book nor a knife crossed the sky before you?
Yes, sir. That is correct, sir. Sure as the night sky in London is starless, sir. It certainly seems like they're telling the truth.
And then we saw the poor woman fall to the ground, so we ran straight over to help her. I did leave the scene and go fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed.
She moved the body.
Yeah, I told you she fucking yeeted it.
Well, maybe he did, because I think she went for help. I don't know.
You think he did anything? No. She's like,
Oh.
it's our special day and I won't let some woman with books ruin it! And she tied the scarf around her and dragged her across, and then she hit her with the bike for good measure. That's why the bike is broken. Because she picked it up and she went, ugh! To make her forget anything that ever happened.
It's just so funny. It's like she's lying underneath the Garradeb's house, basically on that side of the street, and the first book bonks or whatever. She falls over. She's laying on her back, and then the knife falls down and just sticks directly in her back.
Oh, ouchie, Jesus!
Hold it! Yes, you said that you went to a nearby police box to fetch another officer. Is that right?
That's right, yes. If it had been on Rolly's beat, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course.
Don't feel bad, my love. You can't be expected to know the location of every police box on every beat.
So Rolly told me the way, only I sort of got a little lost on the way.
Patricia, my darling, that's why I love you. Your terrible sense of direction is bewitching to me. God
Someone's
damn
gonna
it.
say that to you one day.
I hope so.
Someone is gonna be
God.
like, that is...
I'm filled with a newfound sense of hope. There's a Rolly out there for everyone.
There's a Rolly out there for you, baby.
Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rolly!
Oh, please.
So, I suppose I was gone for 15 minutes. But like I said, my Rolly was at the scene the whole time, making sure nothing was disturbed.
I was off duty at the time, of course, but a true Bobby is never really off duty, sir. I didn't take my eyes off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front.
Nothing to report.
That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open the entire time. Never looked away for a second.
Previously on the NyanCave, I was face down in the snow.
Yeah.
No one else approached the scene, and nothing was removed from it. I can swear to that on the yard's honor, sir!
Really? That seems a little strange.
Beg your pardon, sir? Strange, sir? Seems altogether regular to me.
This burnt copy of The Lion's Pride was originally in the Garradeb household. So the question remains, how did it find its way to the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as how you were at the scene of the crime the entire time?
Aha! Could it have been a different copy, sir? One that just happened to be burnt as well?
Even if that were possible,
Why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder. Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene. Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back and how that book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them.
Can I ask you something? Please, Mr. Lawyer, sir.
Oh, God. This should be good.
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell.
Okay, you gotta stop this. It's my job, okay? What? I wasn't really, what's she doing?
Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. You might see me as just the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am.
I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubted you.
No excuses, I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. My lord, you'll let me speak, won't you?
Yes, Mrs. Beat. I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire.
I love this so much because it always screws her over.
Sometimes the path of least resistance is the sage one.
That was a very loud mutter.
I heard that! That Japanese man thinks a policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that, but my Rolly won't.
Duly noted, Mrs. Beat. Please, I humbly ask you to continue.
This is sort of like those army wives who are like, I'm a serving army wife for 5 years. And it's like, that doesn't mean you're in the army lady.
Maybe. I don't know about it.
I've just seen it on Reddit a few times where they're like, our army wives try to use their being married to an army man as like a thing on like resumes and as a status symbol.
Ah.
What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder? I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off sometimes, though.
Hold it! Mrs. Beat, nobody is questioning what you've told us.
I saw it! I did! That evening, I saw it clearly. That little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny curved back slinking away from the scene. And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books or knives flying through the sky.
All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction?
Oh, yes, well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I've always ended up being at the wrong place and I've made arrangements to reach Rolly. He gets ever so cross.
Him? Cross? That's a cute portrait in the bottom.
It's super cute.
Bam. Excuse me. Constable Beat, is there a problem? No, sir. No problem, sir. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Well, in a way, sir. Yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening, is all. You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident? Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over from mine. But she was gone a fair bit longer than what I was expecting. I thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes.
But my darling was gone a good 15.
Oh, Rolly, jeez, stop it. But the reason I was gone so long is because of the bouquet, silly.
the bouquet.
Sorry, but what bouquet are you talking about?
Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Rolly is so romantic. He saved up for it with the farthings and halfpennies. Halfpennies. He found it in the gutter while doing his round.
That sounds like corruption money. Where'd you get that money? I found it on the ground. Oh, okay, checks out. Yes, how romantic.
I'd forgotten all about it until just now. Had you, my darling?
Oh yeah. But that was just between us. No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You have to promise.
Really?
What was that all about? Constable Beat looked very obviously troubled during that exchange.
I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruhodo. But I'm quite sure of one thing. We have to ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet.
Chat's right. Super sus.
Very sus.
sus.
Mrs. Beat, this bouquet you just mentioned. Now, I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please.
Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to. What happened was, I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while.
Hold it! You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime?
Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset. When we ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back, I was so shocked I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me.
And everything Patricia was holding, including a knife, a bowling ball, and a burning book.
And a burning book. It was in a dark spot where the street lights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice it first.
And then you went to the police box to report it to the policeman whose beat it was on.
Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable, you see. That's when I spotted my bouquet again, but the funny thing was, when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere near the victim's body at all.
In case you need reminding, Mrs. Beat, the victim is not deceased.
Damn it! I mean, oh no.
I was all flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling from the other side of the road.
Your husband, presumably.
That's right. Silly me, I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street.
It was Groomzilla! He's like, I'm not letting anyone get in the way of my shagging my wife on our anniversary. The only night I think is going to be plunging in air is me.
Gross. I'm sorry. I'll leave. Goodbye.
So, the bouquet somehow moved from one side of the Briar Road to the opposite.
Curious indeed.
Isn't it? But the worst of it is, I forgot to pick up the bouquet again when we left the scene. That beautiful rose Rolly bought me with that change from the gutter he spent so long collecting.
By bouquet,
Oh.
do you perhaps mean this sorry solitary rose?
Oh.
Oh, yes, that's it. I really like bouquets.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move on.
That's the bouquet that Rolly bought me for our anniversary with old bits of change he found in the gutter.
Maybe just call it a rose by any other name.
Tell us, Lord Von Zeeks, why did you come by the flower?
According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garadeb household.
In front of the Garadeb's house?
Although it wasn't noticed until the morning as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Could I please have it back now, please?
No. I think for good measure, this rose should be added to the court record as evidence.
Oh,
The anniversary bouquet has been entered into the court record. A present for Patricia Beat from her husband Rolly. The shock of seeing the stabbed victim caused Mrs. Beat to drop the rose where she stood.
but it's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial. Do you hear me? I want it back.
Good grief! Rest assured that I shall do my very best not to forget Mrs. Beat.
I didn't take my eyes off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir. Except for when I watched the NyanCave stream that's ending right now, sir.
What?
What?
I guess it makes sense, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Sorry about my phone call. Literally, the doctor's like, you're gonna get a phone call at some point in time. All like Ebenezer Scrooge and me. You'll be visited by 3 ghosts sometime. And I'm gonna get more calls randomly because she's like, oh, I'm not the person who's supposed to be doing this. The other person who's supposed to be doing this isn't here right now, so she'll call you back later.
Oh, interesting.
But she got some baseline stuff down.
Oh, well, that's okay.
I'm very excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, no, very good. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's such a wild and wacky thing. And the dialogue in general is like really good, I think, because it's like, you know, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like we're making a lot of progress, it's still really entertaining, which I think is really good.
Right?
So it's good.
I'm gonna play the things.
Yeah, for sure.
Patricia, he bought it with the loose change he found during his patrols. Juror number 5, hey, that came from the hole in my pocket, you sob.
Drek, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Almost got knifed. Thank you, Drek.
Nyani, we need to talk.
Angry for $4.99, baby. I'll talk to you about whatever you
Honestly,
want.
I'm just happy you didn't use the words like moist or penetrate or climax. So I think you're probably okay.
We're not done the case. I still have time.
Uh-oh.
I still got plenty of time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
I feel like we're reaching the climax of this case. It's a low bar for Nyan, huh? Yeah. We're not from London, so our jumping capabilities are well below 6 feet. Filth on my NyanCave stream. And it wasn't even educational this time. What is Susan gonna think? Horizontal mambo. You know, if I were an astronaut, I would convince someone to actually try to do the mambo horizontally with me, and then I could send people videos. Want to see me doing the horizontal mambo? And they go, no! And then I send it. It's just me mamboing horizontally in space. It's a very elaborate setup for a very mediocre joke, but I feel like that's what really kind of, you know, brings it back around if you actually did it. What?
Horizontal only exists where there's a horizon. In space, there is no horizon. Therefore, you can't be horizontal, nor can you be vertical.
Okay, I don't know if you guys heard that, but you're wrong, Yanni, because all you need to do is look at the wall of the spacecraft where the arrow points up and it says this side up. Have you not seen those?
No,
This side up, Yanni,
I've never been in a space before.
and therefore, relative to up, be horizontal. It's gonna be a case all on its own as to whether or not Clay and Yanni did the horizontal mambo. No more fighting. Is that fighting? Uh-oh. Well, that's inappropriate. I have to become an astronaut so you can make that joke. I know, right? I wonder if I put that on my resume. Like, dear NASA, I only want to be an astronaut to make this joke. Please allow.
Please make me be on. Please make me be on space.
I will shout you out on my stream.
Okay, love you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Oh, this guy seems like he's perfect for space.
P.S. I'll take Jeff's seat. He's not cool.
No.
Okay, bye. See you soon for Neo Toy.
See you soon.
Yep, bye.
Okay, bye. I love you. Bye. Bye.